brutal, depressing, and hopeless. This is what playing this game feels like. Sheltered is a game that has a unique take on the harshness of surviving in a ruined world while taking care of your family, fighting hunger, elements, hostile people, and animals alike. Graphics. Sheltered features simple but effective graphics. The graphics itself are nothing to write home about, yet the pixel art does a fantastic job portraying a ruined, harsh, and decayed world in which you must direct your family to survive. If an old DOS game like the first Prince of Persia would have a love child with the first Sims and would have an added bit of adultery sprinkled in from Fallout, you'd get a game like Sheltered. Or close to it. The visuals itself are rather drab and devoid of color, which perfectly emphasizes and embraces the picture of hopelessness the game is aiming to portray. Gameplay. Sheltered is much more of a passive rather than proactive game to play. Much like the Sim series, you direct and assign all members of the family and edit recruits to a great deal of different tasks. These tasks include taking care of the basic necessities, such as taking a shower when characters are dirty, to taking a toilet break for some much needed relief. Of course, with Sheltered being a survival game, the most important part is to prevent people from starving or dehydrating, both needs being relatively dependent on luck and time. Food is not always easy to come by and mostly requires a fair amount of scavenging and exploring on the world map by visiting locations through expeditions and looting a variety of different buildings for all kinds of helpful materials, such as food and other necessities that can be beneficial in one way or another. Water is, much like food, another valuable commodity and can regularly be acquired when the weather shifts to rain every few days, which replenishes the water filters you have set up. Naturally, water itself is precious and often used by the various objects you can build, such as by using the toilet, taking a shower, or by simply drinking. The aforementioned exploration is rather simple in nature, where you assign family members or recruits on an expedition where you can set out a path on the world map to direct what spots the assigned group must venture to look for loot. While sending people on an expedition, you lose direct control over these expedition members, but can still give minor commands through the radio transmitter, with these commands generally being limited to investigate or ignore a location and moving on. Quite often you'll run into unexpected confrontations with fellow survivors that can either have a well-meaning intention to trade items or the goal to take things by force. It's also possible to run into wildlife. Doing these expeditions is absolutely vital to survive and expand your base and crafting possibilities, with most options being limited by different tiers of building that gradually unlock after upgrading the crafting table. Most craftable items require a slew of different components that can be found by either exploring or by trading. Sheltered also features many more minor challenges, such as keeping all needs met of the family members, fighting off a variety of diseases such as radiation poisoning or becoming injured, and lastly, keeping the base itself tidy to prevent rats from infesting your home and stealing all your hard-earned food. Rat bastards! Naturally, it's not uncommon to lose family members or recruits due to different reasons, such as starvation or by engaging in an unwise encounter. When you lose people, the survivors will start to experience trauma and stress, which can lead to debilitating depression and other horrible conditions, like being in a permanent catatonic state with no easy means to quickly recuperate from it. This leaves your character unable to perform most actions. To this end, there are many objects in the game that can reduce stress and trauma, such as books for adults and toys for children. Eventually, the goal of the game is simply to survive as long as possible without succumbing to the harsh environments the world of Sheltered presents. Sheltered also features a leaderboard with the top players achieving over 2,000 days survived, so in the end, the game is limitless. The closest you could get to completing the game is finding all the parts for the RV that's located at your base to get it powered up and make exploration easier. Overall score: addicting. Sheltered gradually becomes more and more addicting the longer you play it, expand your base, and become more attached to your characters and crafting possibilities. Nice micromanaging. The managing of different resources and characters is well done and provides the game with great longevity. Fitting atmosphere. The atmosphere and ambience is well done, well fitting with the overall tone of the game. Soundtrack. The soundtrack, while being fitting with the general feel of the game, ends up being a tad bit too repetitive. Characters lack personality. Even though the characters themselves look well enough, it's a shame the game doesn't have tools to create a more emotional attachment to them. Unvaried surroundings. The environments and surroundings don't really change throughout the gameplay. Lost to the wasteland. Sometimes you lose a family member due to bad luck when they are on an expedition, dying without really giving the player a fair chance to combat this. Closing words. Even though I named a few downsides to the overall score, I still immensely enjoyed playing this game. It's a rather unique concept and executed well, a nice breath of fresh air in the survival genre, and I look forward to seeing more games from the developer in the future. Is it worth it? It's a good game, but not without its faults. Thankfully, the game has a very fair price and easily justifies the price tag for the amount of content provided. For this reason, I'd say yes, this game is well worth the money. Thanks for watching, my name is SirDutchie. If you wish to support my channel, you can do so by liking, commenting, and providing feedback, and of course subscribing. I wish you, as usual, a fantastic apocalypse-free day.